Okay. And see if we can get try this up here. Okay. Anyway, I thought what we do is just start out with some stretching. My daughter is a Pilates coach, and sometimes one of the things she kind of recommended, is that you if you want to stretch, you do moderate stretching, or just warm up with movement and center. Okay. And she says if you overstretch at the beginning of a class, you overdo something, you can hurt yourself. So, stretching wise, I kind of recommend stretching. So I get older, it's very important. Okay. I'm older and older every day, right? So, but that's kind of a private thing. In other words, I recommend you stretch regularly, ideally daily, and you do it on your own. And in class, you warm up with movement, or conversely, you got a training class, and you have a stretch class afterwards, and then you go home. You wouldn't overstretch and then go out there and potentially hurt yourself. Okay. All right. So these are stretches I do daily. And so we're going to, for example, here, I start with the fingers this way, get a full body image. And stretch slowly. And breathe after stretch. Stretch down. Then repeat. Let's start with standing stretches. Breathe. Breathe. Now with a little bit of a twist. Side, a little bit back. Breathe. Side, a little bit back. Breathe. Repeat that pattern. I'm going here. I was trained to do that, but it's just easy. Get the here, breathe here. Get the here, breathe here. Go all the way down without straining. Breathe. Side. Back. Side. Back. Side with a little twist, not an extreme twist. And back. Side with a little twist and then back. Okay, so that's my standing stretching. Now I do a stretching routine, but I also kind of do a routine before the routine. So one of the things. And make sure that here. And these are stretches for the hamstring, but also what's important, you don't just stretch the hamstring without also including what you call the hip flexors, which are located more in the butt. The piriformis, the gluteus, medius, a couple of others. But I try to all the way. If you can't, don't do it. Okay, but work your way down. Extend the leg out and breathe as much as I'm stretching the other part of the leg. I'm also kind of feeling the muscles in the butt, stretching them over. Breathe and stretch. Easily, naturally, and you exaggerate. Go the other way. And crossing the legs. You can also do it this way. But again, doing here, the hands behind me. Yeah. And again, not so much I'm trying to get low as much as I'm trying to get long, 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 long. So you cast a shadow that way. And here you cast a deeper shadow. Okay? And right leg on top. There's kind of a nice stretch open hip flexors. Go the other way. And again, what I'm doing is behind my back. Knees. And step out. And don't rush into the stretch. Slow both out and back. And there's the things that you try to lead with your head. All I'm trying to do really is lead with my belly. And I'm thinking not lower, longer. Breathe. Right about here. So we're in the head. See if you can touch your belly. And breathe. And now to go the other way. This is again for the hip flexors. Look to the left, it tends to stretch the muscles on the right. Actually, yes, stretches the muscles through the left. Breathe. Now, and again, if you want to get a result, I'm thinking longer, not lower. In my stomach, I think that's not really beautiful. Oh, is it breathing with the stretch? Breathe, not holding. You don't breathe with holding. If you're breathing, you're holding. Then we go the other way, and then right leg, the right hip flexors. Now, right leg out, cross with the left, circle the leg here. This is kind of a spine twist. And again, underneath the stretch. Breathe through the stretch. Hold the stretch. Breathe. Ah, every once in a while, when you're stretching a lot, either two things. You've got a lot of energy, so breathe, settle with that. So sometimes also, I remember the docents that was talking about a class when it's going to stay and stretch. Some people they stretch, and you got to wait a second for the energy to come in, so it's a bit of heat. If you kind of go like that easy, general breath. And last of my warm-ups before the warm-ups, to tuck the toes behind me. And again, forcing the belly. Just thinking longer, 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 longer. Very slow, but in breathing. Later we'll be doing the seiza stretch. Okay. This is the warm-up for it. Now, again, slow. I want to put my heels down, bring the heels in. And breathe. Okay. Anyway, Cliff, any questions? Anything come up? Those are pretty standard. But those are my, warm-up stretches before the stretch pattern. We haven't really gotten stretch pattern yet. Anything?
No, it's great stuff. I like the last one, especially for my back.
Yeah. And as you get older, you have to take care of your body. When you're younger, you just do a couple of. I used when he teacher sensei was visiting in Northern California. I would drive them, and then he would go in seminar. I would go by parking, run in, and I do a couple stretches to warm up. And I was just, believe it or not, I was his go-to PK, so I had to be ready to go pretty fast. Okay. For a lot of warm-ups, get the energy moving. I didn't do a lot of real deep stretching. Okay. So anyway, we're going to go through, what sometimes are called the Mako 4 stretches. It is a health system that Sensei liked because I heard that he didn't like what it did for the hips. Of course, the hips are involved in the stretches we just did, especially the hip flexors, and they're continuing to be involved. Okay, so ready? And what I'm going to say too, do it slow. Go into the stretch slow. Get out of the stretch slow. Breathe. Don't hold the stretch. It's like I'm holding the stretch, but I'm holding my breath. It's an opening when you continue to breathe. Energy starts to come into your system. You're keeping the energy out. Okay. So, okay. And these stretches, the Mako stretches, are also for the energy meridians in the body. Okay. So, and this is kind of my major stretch, and all the stuff that we've done is a warm-up for this one. This is kind of weird. Back a little bit. Okay. Now, there's a tendency, as in all of these, try to get your head down. I'm going to touch my head to the floor. Be very easy with that. Instead of lower, think longer. It's very important. It's a psychology with the stretch. Force it, I'm going to pull something like that. Support muscles. The butt. Force you breathe. Okay, so what I'm doing here, more than anything else, what I'm trying to do, several things. The belly, as opposed to lead with the belly, not the head. Okay, and I do several of these. Okay, but the first one is the most important. Get very slow, but as I continue to stretch, I get slower and slower. I'm thinking long. And I'm paying attention to the stretch in the hip flexors, the butt muscles. They warm up here for a little bit. I feel it in the underside of the leg. And also, I guess you call me hand up instead. And go down. Thinking longer, not lower. And on the third, my belly tensions. Again, if you can't, go to where you can do it and just breathe there. Don't just hold the stretching, breathe to it. Belly touches and focusing not just the opening of the legs and the lips, but the hip flexors in the back. And breathe. Just hold it. Your system contracts. Breathe. It opens. Okay. Now, I start that way first. Then I go left first. You go the other way. Just, but same thing. Head. No. Belly. Belly to upper leg. Thinking longer, more leg. If I can, ahead. Breathe. Can't make it all the way there. Just stay where you are and breathe. And again, notice how I go out slow, I come back slow. You go this way, go quick. One of the benefits of the stretching is so stretching is open. Now, I'm going to go right, slow. And go to here, fine. Just hold it. Or just maintain the stretch and breathe to it. If you can. Okay. So what I do is that's round one. I do the same stretching, straight stretch. The thinking is here, hips forward, heels out. Forward, hips out, forward, heels out. Wider stretch. And initially you might just want to hold here and breathe for a bit. But we're going to start out now. Forward again. If you reach a limit, listen to your body. Most people trade it. Lead what they had in the person. Longer, not really. Now I get belly. I get lower chest. There. Then I'm focusing on not just the stretching. Lower leg and adductor, the interior leg. But on the hip flexors in the back. Breathe. And then I repeat my pattern. I go left. And don't leave with the head. Belly. Longer. If this is all you can do, just breathe. Slow into the stretch, slow out of the stretch. Rush. A lot of the benefits of the stretch are lost. Don't worry. Slow. It's all out. And I go another round. It's forward, goes out. It's forward, goes out. Or heels out and repeat the same pattern. Breath return, settle in. Go to determine I'm too tense. Stretching is open. But Bruce Lee said, as an athlete gets older, he warms up, stretches more slowly and for a longer time. As an athlete gets older, kind of an old I use the term athlete at this point very, very loosely. The other thing that Bruce Lee says, or maybe he or she gets smarter. When you go push it over. So it appears to be slower, but it's probably better. Your stretching is open. Yeah, we can go once more. Again, leading with the head, leading with the belly, and keeping longer, not more. Stomach, lower chest, now, middle chest, then find it. Hip bend. And again, on the including the hip flexors and the breath in the stretch. Breathe. Slow into the stretch, slow back. And slow out, in, out, and slow out. Very slow back. Right? So that is a major stretch for you. Now, instead of a pulling flexion, scoot back slow. We're going to go into the second part. And I do a warm up for it. And again, cross, bricks, grip the left knee, and bring it in. This is very good for the hip flexors on the right side. Right leg coming in, left leg going out, but the hip flexors. And then we reverse. Fold the left and slow. You can go over there. Just breathe to where you are. You might be excited. Maybe you can't go where you can. Breathe. And with that, and let me tell you, this was a hard one. But again, slow. You just get to here, breathe, stretch. And you kind of feel it. Above all, don't try to pull on the back. Open the hips. Hips open. Now, if you just keep, if you can, forward the gun. That was a problem. Years ago, I was in Japan, the stretches out and over the years, they get so you get the back again, but slow, slowly. Okay. I emphasize the word slow. Slow your system is open. Rushing is closing, contracting. Okay? Now, I'm going to try to do this side pattern. This is the seesaw stretch. Now, what I do is sometimes I would stretch back there and the muscles on the underside of my leg might come. So I tuck the toes and stretch those muscles out. Slow, I support, and I'm thinking that lower back, I'm thinking longer, feeling that stretch in the lower vertebrae. And I'm also getting a stretch in the ankles, quads. Initially, my quads were so tight, I couldn't go all the way down. But it is now, second stage here, elbows down. And feel that stretch in the middle part of the spine. And easy. Here, very important. I use the neck and the head, very easy way to try to get my knees down. And I put my hands out. Now, what I'm going to try to do is keep the knees on the ground with my shoulder blades down. Before I do that, now if you can't do that, go to what you can. That usually means that your quads are too tight. Just breathe. Easy. Stretch the legs out. A couple more stretches. Ah. Sometimes you pause and just let your system recalibrate. Sometimes stretching calls up a lot, so you can settle it. And sometimes you gotta pause for a bit for the energy to fill your body, bring space, so that tension creates space. Just a little bit for the energy to fill it. Okay, and sitting back. You know, but I do here. So I chin, I extend the legs and even stretch the under part of the leg. Now you're going to go forward. You sit trying to get my head down. I'm trying to get in touch the belly and the leg. Slow. And side move. See, there's a tendency to lead with the head. Relax. With the belly. And longer, not lower. Right? And, and one last stretch. I'm going to cross my thumbs here. Put them back. And slowly. Let's pull around. Okay. Wow. For a second. And depending on where you are or the day, it calls up a lot of energy. So I'm just going to take a second to settle. Ground, breathe. So I do that stretching routine every day. Now, the other thing which we're not going to do today is that last series. I mean, I do the warm-ups, but the last series, I do several series of them. Because what happens is you go into that place there, but you repeat the pattern. You go 3 notches, and actually go this way, this way, this way. And you'll find that the system opens easier. Maybe you're stuck here in that first one, but you get a little bit more. Okay, as opposed to trying to force that stretch. Likewise, when your legs are you're going that way, it might be tough for you, but you go, oh, I got a couple more inches. Right? And then the whole thing saves off. Maybe you can't put your head down. It's going to be another one. Okay, so there's a routine series. I repeat that series several times. Now, right now, I'm just doing it about twice. But what happened is during the pandemic, 2020, we pretty much had to close all the in-person classes. And so we switched to online. We're still doing one online, but we were doing a couple of them. And this is something I just decided to do on my own because there was a lot, my partner and I, we were watching TV, and I go to the foot of the bed and watch TV, but I go to the stretching. And what I do is I do about, I got to where I would go through that routine. I should have do, just once, but I would do about 5, 6 notches. Then I got smarter. And I would do the routine. And then I would repeat the routine. Then I would repeat the routine. And each time I repeated that routine, my system opened. As opposed to like just grinding out every stretch. Okay, so gradually, with the knees spread out, I can go all the way down, just the head to mat or rug, whatever. Legs spread out. I can go all the way down to where initially I work to where, of course, get the belly there, you can get your forehead. Touch your belly. Don't lead with your head. But then at the lower chest, middle chest, finally I get the upper chest. Okay? So those are just a couple of tips I recommend the stretching if you're into it. You might not be. The pandemic, what was I going to do? Well, I decided to do that. And I've kept it up. We're still on the coronavirus aspect. I still stretch. Okay. Cliff, anything you notice, anything you might want to add to that?
No, these are some good stretches that I already have some of them incorporated
Yeah.
into my routine from earlier time when you did stretching,
Yeah.
but there are some cool ones that are new to me. So I'll
Yeah.
see if I can incorporate them into my routine.
One of the things, for example, your body needs to be kind of thick. And what you'll find with the stretching is you'll get more length. Master Troy used to talk to me about certain styles, even internal styles. Trying to pack chi inside, thicker, heavier. He said, don't get caught doing that. Tai Chi is about lengthening. Certain people and they get strong, but speed. Okay, they might not. And speed and power are you can be very, very strong, but you're slow. Easier to read. And so the stretching has an opening system. Opening. And I enjoy the stretching. I mean, what the other thing is I repeat the set several times. And what I notice in the second repetition, things are looser and freer. I don't try to get it all in one. So, for me, the routine that we did with the warm-up stretches and then stretches, I repeat both the warm-up stretches and the stretches about twice. If I really were to it, I'd go 3 or 4 times. But for me, time restraints is about what I can fit into my schedule. Anything else?
No, not really.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh. Yeah. So kind of like it because it kind of loosens up, especially the hips. Just push. So okay. Now, that's called subudi. It's repeated cut. Okay. Now, several things. I recommend have a mirror there. What if you repeat that cut? A raise right about here, which is about where the third eye chakra is. And the very end of the cut is that double spiral. Or train at home, for example. The stretching is good. And then and you can cut for as long as you want. Or as you get with the things I want you to work on. Do that. Basically, that's the same cut. Okay. At some point, the Japanese home run game, Sada Haribo, trained in Aikido, and at some point, his coach, Mr. Abikawa, decided they were going to study the art of the sword, not kendo. And so they start training with the sword and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. And then one time, right at the beginning, the coach says, "Okay, coach, son, we're done today." And O didn't know what to do because they were cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. Says, "Today's the very first time you repeated that cut precisely twice." In other words, up until then, O was all over the place with the cut. Boom. And uh, several things about that cut. Again, just be able to repeat that. Again, going cutting here, cutting here, cutting here. Boom. Kojima Sensei say, boom. Just a slant of it, a little bit past where your waist is. Raise shallow. This is cutting all the way back here. Shallow raise, deep cut. Boom. Boom. Okay. One of the things we've been stressing lately in class. Somebody grabbed your wrist. But there's that motion. And just take a piece of paper, rather than have a waste paper basket, no problem. Still a problem. And what's interesting right there is that's about strength you put into that. So what's happening there? When you're relaxing, there is no great thing just sort of go like that. And so what happens is you start to, your energy flow. You're trying to do the cut, and in a reactionary place to the grip. No, boom, boom. Now there's the hips turning, everything like that, but that feeling like that. Okay, so when you're closing, you're not putting your weight in the cup. Now your hips are moving. Your system is, especially after stretching, open, filled with energy. And you were doing a little bit of the medial section. The amount of strength is right there. Just that. Same thing. And what I'm trying to do right there. See, power and force are very different. You can hit with a great deal of force right there. But I put a lot of force in the deal, or I can throw your boot, drop that piece of paper into the waste paper bag. Now what happens? Try to do that, frees up your chi, your energy. Boom. Boom. There's a picture. I guess I was thinking a lot of times would have like a little mini fence here. He would be on one side and he was working with, because people get bang. So he would have that there. And on one side, there's no sensei picture, boom, like that. Boom. And on the other side, and one of the top students, boom, is like this. Boom. But sensei's just boom, dropping that piece of paper. Boom, but there's like a lot of energy there. And I think the other person generating a lot of energy in terms of force that way. But it's just still boom. And you see at the very end of the boom, there's a and right there, for me, it's a vibration. A vibration. Now I see the vibration and I start to copy it out there. It's different than imagery. See, power and force are different. Force, oftentimes, people that are reactive in a reactive space, try to generate force back. Whereas if you're proactive, communication, connection is power. And one of the things about power is touch. Boom. Boom. Who these days do I study? Well, one is Stephen Curry. Now you try shooting the ball 30 feet out or 40 feet out. That takes a certain amount of strength and coordination. Okay? But touch. For me, boom. 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 What is that? Vibration at the end. It's the sound that ball in the net makes when the ball goes right through the net. Boom. And in terms of power, you can go there and jam it but you're behind by 3 points. What does it get you? 1 point to the end of the game. Boom. Boom. Nothing but net. Look at the wrist. Boom. Nothing but net. Now the body. I'm a shoulder width. Long like I can swing like I'm cutting wood. Want to cut wood? Cut wood. Boom. 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 So vibration. For me, when somebody grabs the wrist, it's like, yeah, is that vibration? Body supports that, so the picture turn. Ankles and knees are big one. But that's the same. Anyway, bugs, if anything,
Not just that this is good practice. I don't have any, smart insights.
yeah. Well, it's tricky because there's a tendency to want to put a lot of force in that motion. And so a kind of a co-end with that. There's force and there's power. And they're connected, but force may have nothing to do with power. And you can generate a lot of force and just make the situation worse. So power oftentimes is strength. So, but here we're talking about energy, strength, and touch. That's why I like the Stephen Curry analogy. Okay. You're, distant past now. I took Elle once, I used to go to the Y and she said something like, "Sure, I was in practice then." And she said, shoot, it goes to the roof, it doesn't make a sound. And I told her that there's a vibration that the ball makes when it goes through the roof a certain way. And then I read an article, because Stephen Curry has coaches, right? And he shoots and shoots and shoots and shoots, okay? He's constantly working on his mechanics. And what the coach said is, we don't count anything that doesn't go cleanly through the hoop. And Curry himself is very accepting. He doesn't count it unless it goes through the hoop and makes a certain vibration coming through the net. So when I read that, I'm like, yeah, that's true. So since they have a system of chanting and sound, vibration, resonance. So, you can swing a sword and, people in the old days would try to get thicker wrists and stronger forearms. Make their technique stronger that way. But, Curry himself came into the league, I think it was 170 pounds and about 6'3" in sneakers. Well, now he's still 6'3" in sneakers, but he's about 185, 190 pounds. And you can tell he's, so you go inside and finish the contact. He could shoot bang, but there's this thin area. He gets hit out there. And a lot of times he makes the shot anyway and gets a free throw. And so, that sense of when you train, you can build up a lot of dumb muscle. Or Yeah, you swing, you get some development physically, but your energy sense, again, force versus power and touch is very important. Aikido touch can mean better communication, better connection. Anything?
Yeah, I mean, the force versus power dichotomy is something I've been very much working on lately. So trying to discern the difference, trying to do it,
Yeah.
do it without force.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's, every day you go out there and swing the sword. If you do it, and you start generating, some force, your form, the form itself is, somebody wrote an article about Curry, says that wherever he shoots, his shooting form is the same, whether it's 15 feet away or 45 feet away. Position of his feet, the way he holds the ball. And what's kind of interesting about somebody looking at it said that they were comparing Caitlin Clark and Stephen Curry. What they both realized was neither of them looks at they look at the arc of the ball. And the way I would put it is, of course, they're looking at the view, but they're looking at a widening the lens, which is also depth. But they're not staring at the hoop and throwing the ball for their. Yeah, it's almost like two tuning forks. The shooter, the basket, hoop, net, communication, connection. Okay, now the bow can strike. It's not so much how many, you have to kind of feel like. Boom, boom. For me, that vibration is the ball going through the net. Throwing it at the net goes in sometime. Boom. If I start to try to do it too fast, quick, quick Curry, there's an instant release shot, 3 points. If I try to do it faster, I start to force it. See that one coming. Boom. Boom. That's still that vibration at the net. Okay? So that's very deep practice. Anything for the break today?
Just that I'm still trying to get the vibration at the end to be consistently present, and it is not.
Well, that's a lifetime of work. I mean, Tojima Sensei looked at me once. I told the story countless times. He says, "Yeah, it'll take you 5 years. If it takes 5 years," I said, "It'll probably take me 50 years." And he said, "It's fast at 5 years, but it's also fast at 50 years."
I think I'm on the 50-year plan.
Yeah. So, there's an area where you try to measure it. It's not about measuring, it's about precision, location. And it's also, you use the word, you discern. It's not, discernment is not knowledge. In those sense, it kind of likes to think about imagination and sensing. But really what you're doing, you're training your ability to discern. The Japanese verb to understand, which is kind of a discernment, has the sword radical in it. So working with the sword, you're discerning the difference between force, strength, power, and you're also working on integrating into that equation touch. So deep practice. And if I, like for example, the stretching, the swinging, they're good. If it's just swing, that's fine. But sometimes it's good to open the system up more than you normally do. Okay. Anyway, I think we'll call it for today. We will be in Mountain View for our usual Sunday. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei. See you
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, now I got to figure out how this whole thing's supposed to work again. So let's go. Let's go more. Captions. Well, that's not doing it. I think if I just turn the whole thing off, it'll probably stop shooting, but what do we do here? Participants share, stop video. Yes, I think that's the obvious. Stop the video. And then we